Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet and welcome to Friday Fun. I have some leftover business from last week. Last week you all were exceedingly generous to me and to Rancho 3M. They're able to send in $150 to that organization. It's already been sent. So thank you so much for helping us here at Bonnie Bay Crochet to be able to be very generous to an excellent organization. If you want to learn more about Rancho 3M, you can look in the video description and I have a link that you can check out and learn more about this fantastic Christian school and orphanage in it's near Guadalupe, Mexico. All right. Well, I'm going to just start off with the song. And I hope you like this. I was thinking of all you crafters out there, whether it be crochet or sewing or knit or whatever. And this is not so much regarding the generosity you have of giving people the works of your hand. I know we all do that and we love doing that. And I'm not discouraging that at all in this song. I wanted to be very clear about that right now. This is for those people that kind of come up to you and will you make me one of those? And you're like, sure. And when they find out how much it costs, well, they might have a change of heart. Well, so this is a song I'm borrowing from one of my favorites, Ringo Starr. And I think if you've ever listened to Ringo's music, you'll maybe recognize this one. It won't come cheaply. No, it won't come cheaply. It won't come cheaply. You know it won't come cheaply. If you want a big throw, it will cost you lots of dough, and you know it won't come cheaply. I'd like to live inside, eat 3 meals or more besides, and you know it won't come cheaply. Open up your heart and your wallet. Start counting off those bills, and I'll have you through tomorrow. La 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 I don't ask too much, I only want your trust, and you know it won't come cheaply. You want some hats like that, and you want them really fast, and you know it won't come cheaply. You know I'm not Walmart, get out your wallet. Start counting off those bills, and I'll have your hats tomorrow. La 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 If you want my hand crochet, then you're gonna have to pay, and you know I don't come cheaply. If you want something that fits and you wanna make it knit, and you know I don't come cheaply. You know I don't come cheaply. You know we don't come cheaply. La 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 la. La 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 la. All right. Whew. Whew. Now I can relax a little bit. It always makes me nervous, especially trying out something kind of brand new. And see how far I can put this so it won't go crashing down. All right. There we go. Let me go ahead and check in with you guys. All right, get a little bit closer so I can actually see the comments here. As you can tell, I'm not at home. It's been a really, really fun week. It's been a busy week of travel. Since we talked last, I've been to Virginia to visit a grandson and his parents. Of course, my son and his wonderful wife. We've driven down to South Carolina, and my mother-in-law, Mrs. Parker, had a 96th birthday celebration this week. So happy birthday, Mrs. B. Um, it's just wonderful to be able to celebrate life with a godly woman who's lived life well here in the South. And so it's been fun to see another grandson. And if you look at the community section, if you can get to it on YouTube here, I did post a picture of my grandson helping me out the other day. It was so cute. I have to tell you a little story. He was not happy about something, and I really don't remember what it was. Um, and I just looked at him and I said, "Do you want to play guitar?" And he's like, he just stopped mid whatever the negativity was going. And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And he just came and he visited me and we just had some good time together. And for the record, I don't just sing Ringo Starr to my kids. I have a lot of a lot of preschool repertoire from having played for preschoolers for more than 25 years at our church. So that's always a lot of fun. Well, let me go ahead and get to the live comments here. Marie, so good to have you in our chat, my friend. Let me go ahead. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn this off. Okay. There was something off to the side. I needed to stop. All right. Marie, so glad to see you in the chat today. And Brat's mom, good to have you too. And she's joining us from sunny and cold Southwest Chicago suburbs. And again, she says, please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for doing that. And Kelly, I'm so sorry to hear about your situation with some of your family members. They should know better. Yeah, and she's crocheting a beanie for your cousin's husband. How sweet of you to do that. It's always thinking of others. I know we crocheters, it's just what we do. So do definitely take the song with a grain of salt. That's more for those people who just want you to do stuff for them all the time and have no idea our value. So you just have to remind them sometimes. That's all. As far as giving your heart away to other people that you love dearly, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful to do. And Angie and Alana, good morning. I hope your appointments go well, Kelly. And BJ, hello to you. Happy Friday. And Red Hooked, good morning to you. And yeah, and Kelly, tell your sister that she's got a really bad idea there. Tell her that smoking is really bad for her no matter what it is, and especially what she has in mind there. So we're not even going to talk about that because I don't want to get zinged by YouTube. But anyway, and Red Heart says she's running errands, but we'll be listening. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much, Red Hooked. I'm looking forward to this week. It's going to be fun. Going to be spending it with here in South Carolina for a couple of weeks, and brought lots of work with me, hoping to get a lot of computer and writing done. And Sandra, good morning from Southern California, and Rosemary from sunny Arizona. I love both of those states. And Virginia says good morning, and may God fill your life with all the blessings. I guess that's what that means. So you never run out of reasons to be happy. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much, Virginia. That's such a kind blessing. And Barbara, my friend from Alaska, thank you. She says, morning from sunny backwoods. I'm so glad you can be here. I just love our correspondences. And I just love it that you all are real people. I just love that. And Kim, let me go ahead and get Hannah in. I haven't pulled her up now that her computer is working, so she's not having to work from her cell phone now. Let's see if I can pull her up here. There she is. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and had so much going on this morning. I just needed to be able to get her brought back in here. Yay. And we have Kim from West Texas. Oh, another one of my favorite states. I love them all, but there's certain states I just love visiting. I just like going out west. I guess because I haven't I've always lived on the East Coast, and growing up in South Florida, which is I never went anywhere but Florida, and which is a wonderful place to live and to grow up. But mostly staying on the East Coast because that's where family is and where I live. But when I get a chance to go out west, I just love it. I take it. Colorado, Texas, Arizona, California, been to Oregon. I mean, just limited, but there are a lot of others in between that I'd like to get on in a car and just check them off, and just visit all these places I've heard about and just have never seen with my own eyes. Um, Oh, thank you, Kelly. She says she likes the blanket that's on my bed. I'm guessing in the picture, yeah, that's my mother-in-law's bedspread. Yeah, it's a nice color. It camouflages my glasses really well, so I have to be careful. And we have Bonnie from Flemington, PA. Welcome, welcome. And Armel from France. Well, bonjour, bonjour, and welcome to our chat. That's about the limit of my French, unfortunately. Um, love your country too. Loved visiting France back in 2013. And Virginia, thanks for joining us. And again, Hannah, thank you for being here and taking care of everything. Um, uh-oh. Okay, so Hannah's sending me the message that Felicia Weatherspoon's niece is back in the hospital, and she's asking for us to continue to pray for her. We certainly will do that, and I will add that to my list once we're done with the chat here. And Phil is in the chat. Phil, good to have you here, and Karen and Laritha. Yeah, Hannah said I got my computer working so I can answer people better now. Yay. Yeah, her chief technician showed up, i.e. my husband, and so she's back in business. Let's see. Donna says hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone who loves yarn, crochet, and Bonnie and Hannah from sunny Ohio. Thank you so much, Donna. It's so cool. Yeah, Ohio is a great place too. That's where my mom and dad were born, Cincinnati, Ohio, right there, not far off the river. Um, Ooh, lots and lots of people. Um, okay, here we go. We have Kim W and Jet One N. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you, Kelly. She says I play the guitar well, but she has a ukulele, but haven't played with it. Get it out and try it. Ukuleles are kind of fun. Now, just know that if you learn ukulele, the chords are different on the guitar. That's all you need to know about that. But ukuleles are a lot of fun, and you can usually do chords with one or two fingers, so that makes it a lot easier. It just doesn't transfer over to the guitar if you ever learn that. Thank you, Alana, about the song. Thank you all for your sweet, kind encouragement. As you know, I'm not a singer by profession. I sing for children and people who don't know that I'm not a singer, basically, but do try to carry a tune as much as I can. And Carol says, Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too. And Lady Crochet Manuela, welcome. All right. I heard something go ding, but I guess it's not for us. And Felicia says, good afternoon, sis. Bonnie, thank you so much, Felicia. And we will be praying for your niece. And thank you, Jan, for your kind encouragement there. And Kelly is saying hi to Ola Joe if she's in the chat. I don't know if she's in the chat yet, but she might be, Kelly. A lot of people are watching who don't necessarily, text in. And Kathy G, hello. And we have Deborah from New Jersey. That's where my daughter-in-law is from, New Jersey, just not too far from me, actually, maybe a couple hours. And Jessie Blue Jay from Ohio. Welcome, another Ohio person. And I keep hearing dings. It must be the family chat going off here. And Heather says, oh no, I missed the song. We'll have to watch it later. Hello, all. God's blessings to you all. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have Niran from Nazrin, if I'm saying that right, Nazrin from Pakistan. Well, welcome. Wow, that's a long way. Don't get many people from Pakistan, so you are certainly welcome here. Okay, no problem, Hannah. Apparently, another grandson video has been posted and everybody's liking it. Yeah, I would do that too. Um, and yes, we will pray for your niece, Felicia. And we have Marcel from South Africa. Oh my goodness, we're doing quite a geography lesson here today. That's fantastic. Never been to Africa, but would love to go there. I have actually have some knitting and crochet friends from South Africa. Um, I'm trying to think where they live, but I can't remember. I so want to go there at some point. And thank you, Lady Crochet Manuela, for caring for Felicia. Um, Carol says to Hannah, glad your computer is working. Hope it's almost spring break for you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I have to tell you guys, talking about spring, everything is yellow here. We are surrounded here in the South by lots and lots of pine trees. And, you know, pine trees, conifers that produce those cones, produce this. It looks like a storm cloud sometimes. The pollen is so thick in the air. We all went walking around in the grass with one of my grandsons, and my husband has this um, remote controlled four-wheeler truck that he likes to use at our house. It helps to chase the geese out of our yard because they we have them by the hundreds. They like to come and they live at the lake, not far from where we are. Sometimes they like to come into our yard and they make a really big mess, if you know what I'm talking about. I won't be too graphic on the detail, but my husband, instead of us kind of shoo them out and take a chance on us falling and breaking something, got a remote control truck about a year ago, and it's so much fun because you put that truck down, they do not like that truck. So he brings the truck down for my grandsons to play with. They just love watching that truck go. And we come back towards the house, and all of us have our shoes are just covered in yellow. Of course, the cars are coated in yellow. Everything is yellow. If you live anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line, you know what I'm talking about. So far, it hasn't been too bad as far as the breathing goes, but doesn't bother me so much. But sure makes a mess on everything else. Everything gets so coated. Um, all right. And we have what is this? If I can try to pronounce this, Yushanda Young, if I'm saying that right, from Georgia. You know what I'm talking about. Says, I love your designs and have donated several blankets to Project Linus with stitches that I've learned from you. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts. My pleasure. My pleasure. That is so wonderful of you for, doing things for others, especially for the Project Linus. What a kind thing for you all to do. Um, I know a lot of you do a lot of different things. I know, I think Wanda, one of the Wandas in our chat, it donates a lot of her blankets uh, to the veterans and people at the Veterans Hospital. It's just, you guys are just really great. I think it's just a crocheter trait, just thinking of others. So, all right, and we have Nessa from Infinitely Zero in the chat. Welcome, welcome. And let's see, Virginia. Uh, okay, Virginia. Oh, my pleasure, Virginia. Jesus, thank you for the song. My pleasure. It's so much fun just to have an excuse to get the instruments out. It's not the way I make a living. I had hoped it would be at some point in my life. I did study music education at the university level, but just couldn't land the job, just couldn't get the proverbial job afterwards. That was during the 80s when everything was, I know I'm drifting onto a box trail here, but if you remember in the 80s, everything was, let's get back to the basics, which means cutting out the arts. And I'm like, what? So we're just going to do math, reading, what? And just cut out all the beauty of life. Well, that's what they did in the schools while I was in the job market for three long years, looked and nothing. But anyway, yeah, tough times, but by the grace of God, I was able to at least facilitate a lot of uh, time using it with church and with the children and whatnot, and even some with the worship band. So it's not been for nothing. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun to just bring it out, dust it off, and incorporated it to crochet a little bit. Which, oh, that actually reminds me, I have an announcement, and this is real exciting. This hasn't been published yet on the site, but it looks like, okay, don't run out and tell everybody just yet, but it looks like the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, it looks like my friend Jennifer Ryan may be going there as well. And so she's the lady that I get into cahoots with the music programs. And so it looks like there's going to be a Saturday evening program of some sort, and we're going to be able to share some music during that time together. So I'm really looking forward to that. We actually bring a real microphone and an amp, and so that it's hopefully balanced out pretty well. But anyway, I'm just really excited about that. So if you all are looking at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, it's the last. Let me go ahead and give you the exact dates. It's August 22nd through the 24th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that Saturday night, there is going to be a program, and it's going to be fun. So I just wanted to let you all know that. And if you are at all interested in going to Pittsburgh for that program, I'm planning on being there. I mean, barring no health issues or anything, but looking forward to that. And it looks like we have another prayer request. Okay, one from Charlene Lucas. It says, good morning. Hello from St. Louis, Missouri. In 72 hours this week, we have had high record temps, wind, rain, flooding, tornadoes, and snow only in the Midwest. Please pray for all those who lost so much. I was actually not aware of that, Charlene. Thank you for telling us, and we will definitely add that. Of course, we could still continue in the same vein of things, continue to pray for those in North Carolina who are still suffering for what happened months ago. We'll definitely add your section on that. Yeah, because I know I was watching the weather this week. They had a lot of tornadoes go through Georgia, where I have family. So yeah, and South Carolina too. They had a lot of some things on the ground not far from here, but thankfully, I don't believe it did too much damage. But thanks for letting us know that. I've, again, been out of touch with the travel, so I will make a note of that and check that out and be praying for those folks. All right. Since we are talking about dates, let me go ahead and, okay, where's the cursor? There it is. Let me tell you about another fiber festival that I'll be attending this year. These are the only two that I'm aware of. That would be the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival in the late August. And I'm also planning on being at the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival, October 23rd through the 25th. That's in Prince Edward Island up in Canada, just north of Maine. Just keep going to the border of the U.S. and Canada border. Just keep going. It's going to be at Delta Hotels Prince Edward. That's 18 Queen Street and Charlottetown. You can look there in the video description. I do have a link where you can learn a bit more. I don't think they have a whole lot of information beyond that right now, because that's not till October. So that's out a ways. But if you are planning on doing that, I would definitely highly recommend that you get your hotel room reserved. It won't cost anything to reserve your hotel room so that you have a place to stay, because it's not like going to New York City where you have umpteen choices. There's not a lot of choices. It's a very beautiful part of the world. Anne of Green Gables, if that rings a bell with anybody, that's where she was from, according to the book. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this really wonderful place. And it'll be in the fall. So you'll be able to, if you're traveling by car, you can be able to travel up through New England and see all that has to offer. Okay. Okay, so Jet One In also has a prayer request. Wow, there's a lot going on. Just please send a prayer for me. I made a hard announcement on my live just yesterday, and it's been hard on me. My business partner decided to also leave me without warning. Ah, oh man, that's tough. So sorry to hear about that. That's a major adjustment. I hope you can adjust and keep going, jet one in, or maybe find somebody to help you. But wow, that would be really tough. Um, wow. Okay. Um, let's see. What else do we have going? Let's go back to the chat. Let's see if I can catch up on some of this. Hi, Virginia. Waving right back at you. And Jan, welcome. Um, and thank you, Virginia, for caring for Felicia. Um, and Phil says, out shopping for shelving and cabinet hardware today. So minimal interactive with chat today, but tuned in. Ah, you're busy. You got a lot going on. Um, Good for you, Phil. I'm glad that you're very industrial in that way and can build things. I love that I married a guy that can do stuff like that too. He can, get an idea, draw it out, do the math, and give it a try. Remember my dad doing that. But I wish you the best on all that shelving and the hardware. Hope it works out. Um, and Nasrin says, thanks, Bonnie. Love to be here and love your pattern. Well, thank you so much. I'm just so glad you could join us today. Everybody is welcome here. And then we have Butter Roll Batik. That's a cool name. Says, good morning. Well, good morning to you. I haven't seen you in the chat before, so welcome if this is your first time. I'm glad you feel comfortable to chat away here. It's a really good group of people in the chat, so you can all feel safe. And love the craft. Thank you for interacting there with Hannah. And thank you again, Hannah, for just keeping us safe and just keeping keeping the chat where it needs to be. Okay, I'm trying to not get lost here. And yeah, Virginia says, what a great blessing to see many people from around the world. Crochet brings many good souls together. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And it's such a wonderful skill. It's a wonderful craft, art form, really. And Anne Marie says, hello, Bonnie Saint from St. Louis. Hope you are having a great day. Yes, I am. I got some of my family around today. I'm doing well, visiting with you all. Can't believe how fast the time flies when we do this. And Phil says to Hannah, I've been doing well. Got my taxes picked up today. Yay for a refund. All right, Phil, rub it in. No, I am happy for you, my friend. I'm hoping to at least keep one arm and leg this time around. Being taxes are a tough time for us here. But yeah, I'm glad you got a refund, my friend. Um, that's good news. That just means they took too much out of you to begin with. But yeah, I do wish you all many, many happy tax returns. We're trusting the Lord for getting through. It's a little stickier, a little different when you do business online, and we have a small business, yes, but um, the government loves us. They love to just get a piece of us, a big piece. But I'm not going to complain because I'm still living in a free, wonderful country that I love, and so I will gladly do what I need to do my part to keep it free. And okay, we read Charlene. We'll keep your friends there and that area in prayer, Charlene. And Stephanie says hello. Says hope all are well today. Yeah, thank you, Stephanie, for your care. And Vima's crochet, if I'm saying that right. And Marion from Germany, Bavaria. Wow, I've been to your area, Marion. When our family um, came there, we went to Europe in 2013 and saw a lot of different places. And we did spend a couple of nights in Bavaria, Germany. Wonderful, wonderful place. Visited some. I can't even talk about the places we visited because it would really be hard. Um, but I'll just go ahead and try. Um, we visited one of the where was it? Dachau concentration camp. But we also visited many other beautiful places around there. But it was just real important historically that we take our children through what happened in World War II, and it was quite a memorable experience for all of us. But we also, saw parts of the Alps. We traveled to Austria for a day, um, and loved driving on the Autobahn. Actually, got the van that we rented up to 100 miles an hour, and the kids love that. In case of y'all have ever been there, it's relatively safe to do things like that there. It's just a long, straight road. But we just had a lot of great memories. And my daughter, Becky, has been to Kern and has seen the beautiful cathedral there. And I hear lots of that. I would love to go back. I so would love to go back and see more. That's always my response is like, when can we go back? But just love visiting your country. I have many, uh, what did I have to say? Descendants from your part of the world, as well as Ireland, interestingly enough. So wow. And let's see. Um, and thank you, Felicia, for praying for Charlene's area there. And y'all are just so friendly. Um, yeah, thank you, and Nessa, for taking care of everybody here. Yeah, it's so good. And Sharon says, hello, Anne of Green Gables, Prince Edward Islands. Yes, yes, come visit. Let's visit together. Yeah. Um, and Nessa says, thank you, Hannah. I am so not feeling too well today, but feeling better than when I woke up. Well, I hope you do get to feeling better, Nessa. You know, I I don't believe in jinxes, so I don't think this is going to be a jinx or anything, but it's just nice to feel good again after, having come through like three different bouts of illness since Thanksgiving. It just seems like it was just, I don't know, coming through those cold months for some reason was a little tough this year, but I hope you get to feeling better, Nessa, because it really does feel good on the other side of these things. And Vima's Crochet says, I really feel so happy to see you whenever I see your name. Puts a smile on my face. Oh, you're so sweet. That is so kind of you. Um, and Vicky Brown says, treasures from the past. Found my grandma's doily brochures from the 40s and 50s. Memories flooded me. Oh, wow. I would, yeah, definitely take good care of those. Maybe put them in some acid-free protector sleeves, or sleeves or something. Vicky, some of those patterns are fantastic, and you can easily use those to. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe you don't necessarily want a doily, but you might be able to use that very doily pattern to make a giant rug or something, um, or use some nice cotton, like sport weight cotton, to make a beautiful, little more robust doily to put on the back of a jacket. I'm going to be teaching a class just that shows you how to do that in Pittsburgh this year. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. But I wasn't trying to segue into that, but just thinking of those beautiful doily patterns, definitely treasure those. I would put them in some protective sleeves of some sort so that you can really utilize those. Um, it is such a direct way to kind of touch the past, isn't it? Reminds me of years ago, helping one of my kids with their stamp collection, and then just going through the different stamps of the history, and it was like touching history. I remember being, a child and having a 4-cent stamp. Yeah, that's what it used to cost, 4 cents. And some of you may remember even 2 cents or 3 cents. I think the earliest recollection I have is 4 cents for a stamp to mail a letter, and it's only gone up to what, 66 cents now, but still a deal, I think. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, those doilies and old crochet designs from our family members are definitely a way to touch history and remember those we love. Wow. And Sharon says, greetings from Connecticut. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That reminds me, my husband and I were up in Connecticut this year, traveling to take something up. to Yale University for his work. So beautiful. First time I'd really been there for any length of time. And Hannah's telling Nessa that she's not feeling great either, but could be worse. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I'm just going to send it out. Just if y'all could please pray for Hannah's knee to heal quickly. We did see a doctor, so it's kind of a good news, bad news thing. The good news is no surgery is needed. The bad news is it's going to take a long time for it to heal because it's the kneecap, and it's one of those things that you can't do much for but exercise and just hope it gets better. So if y'all could pray for Hannah, I don't think she'll mind me asking y'all to do that. It would just really help her. And thank you, Felicia, for where you're taking care of Jet One In. And Brenda Rayburn's in the chat, says, hi, Bonnie and everyone. Happy spring. Yes, happy spring. Yeah. And yeah, Jet One In says about her business partner leaving, says, yes, it was abrupt and so hard. It hurts. I'm sorry, Jet One In. I hope there's a silver lining in this somehow, somewhere. Maybe not now, but maybe I will pray that there will be something that comes along that will just make it clear later, that this was probably a good thing. Okay, and Hannah also asked for prayer. She's going to be going up to Maryland, meeting with some of my doctors that I consider some of the best, and about some things. I don't want to go into detail about it, but do pray for Hannah. She could use some prayer. Yeah, I'm just trying to get her all set with good doctors for a time. Yeah, and Butter Roll Boutique says, what's a mouthful? Butter Roll Boutique says, yes, I'm a returning subscriber. Thank you for having me. Oh, you're so welcome. And Sharon says, I love Lucy Maud Montgomery and Laura Ingalls Wilder. Yeah. Just a tidbit, Sharon. One of my sons who does cinematic arts, was able to actually be on a film crew who was working on a documentary of the original Little House on the Prairie's television series, the one with Michael Landon and many others that I can't rattle off the top of my head. Of course, Michael Landon is no longer with us, but some of the other people are. And he was able to, it was just really fun because he was able to meet some of them, and they traveled out to the Dakotas and did a lot of filming on location. So yeah, really cool. Whenever that comes out, I will definitely let you know where that is, where you all can see it. But it's still in the works. And thank you, Hannah, sending Jet One In a hug, through the screen hug. I am so sorry. I will, if you want to, well, I would love to hear, just hear how you're doing. If you just want to even email me, bonniebay@me.com. I would love to, if there's any way I can help, please let me know. Okay. Especially if it's like a fiber related thing, please let me know. And we have our friend, okay. Charlene Lucas says, good morning. Hello from St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, I've already read that one. Okay, I've read that. Okay, thank you for sending that in, Charlene. We will keep them in prayer. Where did I? Okay, I just scrolled back too far. What is going on here? I'm trying to figure out my computer here. It went all the way backwards. That's so weird. All right, well, let me go ahead. Hannah sent me this. Says, I just got from Denise. I just got the results of my x-ray and ultrasound for my right knee. There is water on both sides of the meniscus ligament. Which is also I guess the ligament near the kneecap. Wow. Okay. Well, Denise, I hope that's something that they can fix without doing too much invasive surgery. I hope they can get that set for you. I can imagine that's rather painful. Anything with the kneecap can be really, really hard. Um, all right. And Ekstrom, there you go, says, hello. I agree that it's wonderful that crochet brings people together from different parts of the world. Yeah, like you. So glad that you could be here. And Phil says, Bavaria, Germany is on the bucket list. You need to do it, Phil. Do it sooner than later. Okay. And I tell that to everybody. Um, don't wait until everything is tidied up and perfect to travel. If you can afford, even just a little bit, go do it. And as a tidbit, what's interesting is, you can buy a car and they can repossess your car. If you take a trip, they can't repossess your trip. Not to say that you're not going to pay for it, but I'm just saying, any time that we have traveled, there has never, that I can recall, any regrets. A lot of times I've been able to travel piggybacking on my husband's business travel, which has been great because the only expense that I really had was my plane ticket there and the little bit of food that I would eat while I was there, which I was very careful about that, when I was off on my own. But it's so much fun to just walk around and be able to discover. And I'm just, in my mind, I'm going back to Dublin because I spent so much time walking around Dublin alone, just doing what I want to do, exploring what I wanted to do, while my husband, bless his heart, was busy working, going to the conferences, presenting stuff and learning stuff with regards to his field. So yeah, but if you can get a chance, Phil, it doesn't have to, there are a lot of ways to do it, a lot of cheap ways to do it. You won't regret it. Let's see. And if you're in Germany and most of Europe, you can rent a car and drive from place to place. The phones now are fantastic with the with the navigation and everything. You can get from point to point without any trouble. Usually, well, we haven't had any trouble. It was a little tricky in 2012, but we managed it in Ireland. But since then, it's just fantastic. You don't have to do hardly anything. If you've got a international plan on your phone, it's very easy. You can text, you can use, you can use the maps. It's just great. All right, let's see, where are we? Let me go back to my list of items here. Let me see if there's anything else I need to let you know. Oh yeah, let me show you this. I haven't shown you anything crochet yet. The Inisheer sweater wrap. Go ahead and come back here. The Inisheer sweater wrap, which again is a stole with a back portion. And I finished the fringe on this, knotted fringe. And I originally used a wool fiber on this. It was a number 4 weight wool, which the yarn became discontinued before the book even went to press. But I just substituted my paint box yarn. I had plenty of this on hand, so I didn't have to go out and buy anything. My paint box Simply Aran. I was really close on 10. So I would say 11 balls of this yarn. Each of these has 201 yards. So the video is up on the channel. And these are really nice, really year round, because you can, there we go. It's a little bit of a mess. You can wear them to ward off, the cold air conditioning in the summertime, as well as stay warm in the wintertime, anytime in between. But this is the cover design in the book, Contemporary Celtic Crochet. This book is getting some age on it. It's about 12 years old now. And just to let you know, it's on page 76 here. Come on. There we go. And they do use a different model. So you need to be aware, if you're looking for this in the book, it's a different model. So it's a little confusing if you're looking for her, but on the inside, they have a different lady modeling it for you. And these books are available on Amazon. I think they have them at Walmart.com, and maybe Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, probably online. I usually have them in my Etsy store, but since I'm traveling away from home for a couple weeks, I don't have any of my books that I would sign and send out. I don't have them available right now. But if you're looking for one that's signed, you're gonna have to wait a couple weeks. I'll be home the first week in April. So once I get back home, I'll be able to do that. The next design that I'm hoping to release on the 31st of March is the Phoenix shawl. And this is one of those that's rather on the larger side. And you can wear it as a shawl, but you can also wear it as a large scarf. I mean, you can do whatever with it. You can wear it off to the side. You can do any number of things. So the Phoenix shawl uses yarn from my friend, the Yarn Smith. And let me go ahead and tell you the colors I used in this. Um, the blue is called Dabbling Duck. The multicolor is called Merry and Bright. And this color is called Mad About Saffron. And I used one of each. This is a fingering weight yarn. It's a superwash merino wool and nylon blend. Each of the hanks had 463 yards. And I did use most of all three of those. And just like any of these designs, if you don't like working with, the small fingering weight yarn, don't fret. It's okay. You can use anything really. I mean, I would hesitate on using the real chunky stuff, but you can even use worsted weight yarn if you want. Just know that the item is going to be bigger, may take more yarn, and you'd have to upsize your hook because I've used the size G or 4.00 millimeter hook on this. But anyway, like all of the scarf things, you can upsize it. You can do whatever you want with the yarn. And if that saves you from having to, if you're not able to invest in the fancier yarn, totally understood. And it's not a problem. Just make do with what you have and hopefully, get some great results. Okay, and Hannah wants me to repeat the name. This is called the Inisheer Sweater Wrap. Someone wanted me to repeat that, and it's named after the smallest of the Aran Isles, which are off the coast of Ireland. And that was the one island that we got to visit when my husband and I were there in 2012. It's been a while. Wow, it's been 13 years already. So yeah, it's been a while. I do have another project in the works. I'm gonna maybe show it to you next week if I finish it. I'm like so close to finishing this thing. It's another sweater wrap, and these are the colors I'm using. I'm using Paintbox again, the acrylic, 100% acrylic. Now, if you don't like the 100% acrylic, you can use 100% wool. You can use a wool cotton. You can use whatever you want, whatever you have in your stash. But I've chosen these colors. They were actually left over from another project, and I decided this is going to make a nice sweater wrap. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to try to show it to you next week. It's a very easy, beginner friendly project. No cables. This is just a lot of straight crocheting. And that's all I'll say about it. I'm looking forward to showing that to you next week. Well, let me go ahead and see who else did I not say hello to in our chat. Jet One and says, I'll be trying to keep it going here in Boise, but I'll be needing a new partner or some helpers because it's impossible to do alone. Thank you all for your prayers. Yeah, well, let us know how we can help you, Jet One, and we're for you. Just hope you can. Again, I'm going to pray that the silver lining shows up sooner rather than later in this decision of your partner.
And thanks for caring for Hannah there. And Jet One in, thank you for caring for Nessa. Uh, Brat's mom says, "Shame on YouTube for interrupting your live twice." Sorry about that, Linda. I know the commercials can be a little irritating. It's kind of how the AdSense pays me, so if that makes it any better. Sorry about that. I'm just glad you all are here. Whew. Um, and Denise says, everything went well with my surgery yesterday. Yes. Yay, yay, yay. Um, I hope your phone is working better now. Um, yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys. I know ads are a pain. Um, and Denise says, I'm doing well so far today. Thank you for the prayers. We will continue to pray. Wow, I'm so glad. I did remember that yesterday. The Lord brought you to mind, so I was glad I was able to pray for you. Um, and Phil says crocheting doilies would be a great thing to learn, but those tiny stitches with aging eyes, not sure I could see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's a little tricky, Phil. What's even trickier for me with the doilies and the thread is you have to keep tight tension to get those stitches just right. And my fingers hurt from doing that. And I'm a looser on my tension just by nature of the way I crochet. So it's a little tricky. Uh, it's a little tricky. Yeah, they are tough. But if you're naturally tight on your tension, you're a perfect candidate to do those things. Um, and Jan says she remembers penny postcards. She says, I'm old. I think I remember that too, because postcards were always less than what it cost to mail a letter. I think I remember 2 cent postcards. I don't know that I remember penny postcards, but you may have me there, Jan. I'm pretty sure you do. But I remember postcards. That was the way. We didn't have texting and all that stuff. It was, letters, and we lots of letter writing and sending out. Remember sending out postcards from places when I would travel with my high school band, and I'd usually get home before the postcard. It was kind of funny. Um, Oh wow, I don't even know what this is, but a prayer request from Oddball says I'll be having orbital decompression surgery May 1st. Please pray for that. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea what that is, but we will definitely be thinking of you. Wow. Um, yeah. Um, and Jesus Joy 7 is in the chat, says hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and the chat group. I pray everyone's doing well. Thank you so much. Um, and yeah. And Susie Pop's Creation says, how are you today? Yeah, thanks for asking, Susan. I think we're all doing well. Uh, oh, wait a minute. I missed some. I missed some. Lots of things just loaded here. Ugh. Um, how did I miss all of these comments? All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm backing it up a little bit. Thanks for being patient. Okay, thank you, Hannah. She says it's a surgical procedure that aims to relieve pressure and improve the position of the eye in the eye socket. Ay, ay, ay. No pun intended there. Yikes. We will definitely pray for you. I cannot imagine surgery on the eyes. I know I'm going to need to look into that at some point. As I'm still doing okay with the cataract thing, but I know that's in my future, probably in the next 5 to 10 years. But I don't even want to think about it. But wow, I definitely will pray for you. Okay, thank you for clarifying that for us, Hannah, or clarifying it for me. Maybe many of you knew what they were talking about. I'm in the dark here. Um, and thank you, Felicia, for praying for Hannah. Um, and for Jesus Joy 7, thank you so much. And Denise, you all praying. Thank you so much for praying for my girl. I cannot thank you enough for that. And Sandra, thank you. Thank you. She says, pain is not fun at all, but a blessing that no surgery is required. Yes, yes, yes. Um, wow. And Thank you, Vima's Crochet, for praying for hair too. Uh, oh, thank you, Phil, filling us in on the Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, Melissa Gilbert, Catherine McGregor. Yeah, and the guy that played, I guess Catherine McGregor's husband, the blonde guy. I forget his name, but he's one of the chief people putting this together, the documentary of that. Okay, so okay, oddballs is clarifying the surgery that's coming up. Yes, that's what it is. I have thyroid eye disease. This is surgery that is behind the eyeball, not really the eyeball itself. It's still that still does not sound like something I. Ooh, that just sounds painful. We will definitely put that on the list for praying for you. And thank you, Sharon, for just hitting the thumbs up button reminder. I appreciate that. And thank you, Jet One In. I look forward to getting your email. Um, and Vima's Crochet, thank you for caring for Nessa. Um, yes, it is a blessing, Denise, that the surgery is not needed for Hannah at this time. And Hannah's saying the hardest part about the knee is the stairs are hard to work on, and it's hard to keep up with my nephews. Well, the nephew is on his way home. So anyway, and thanks for the thumbs up, Denise. Uh, Alana, thank you for caring for Hannah. Yeah, and yeah, and Felicia for caring for Jet One In. Thank you. She says God will send you another business partner. I agree and pray. Just pray that the silver lining shows up very soon. Um, and Oddball says I'm trying to shop for house plans. My hubby and I have very different ideas. Yeah, like the size of the craft room, maybe. Wow. Um, yeah, Denise talking to Denise again says sometimes when I'm walking, it goes out on me. I don't want surgery. I had surgery on the left knee and it still bothers me. The doctor said he would keep an eye on it. We'll have to keep that in prayer too. Yeah, we just have to be careful. And easier said than done, I know. And Carmen says hello, says hola, Bonnie, and everyone. Just finished my third Orlaith robe sweater from Mexico. Wow, Mexico. Uh, love visiting your country too, Carmen. Back in 1980, was it 80 or 81? I guess it was 1981 with my high school band. Loved visiting Mexico City and surrounding areas. Went back in 2006 with one of my daughters to the Rancho 3M. So been there a couple times. Beautiful country. Um, and Nessa says, I love Dublin. I want to go back soon. Sadly, when I went, I had a bad ear infection. So I'd like to go back when I'm not that sick. I walked and took two-decker tourist bus to see different locations. Yeah, I didn't do that, but I just walked. I just had all day since my husband was working. I walked all day and just met some wonderful people. I love seeing the people busking out in the open air, busking as in playing music and whatnot. I just love the atmosphere there. Love the shopping. Um, just the atmosphere. I found a really great bakery too. So instead of having real food for lunch, I just had some wonderful baked goods. It was kind of fun. I was by myself, nobody to judge, so I could do what I wanted to do. And I even found an Irish flute and bought from a very elderly couple who owned a small Irish music store. So I just had a really good time. Uh, Thank you guys for caring for Hannah. Extra for you too. Thank you so much. And Sharon says, I have made two ponchos recently. Love it. Our ponchos great. That's one of my favorite items to wear. Um, and I got a lot of them if y'all are looking for them. Just look in the playlist on my homepage and you'll see lots. And Denise says, it's so beautiful. I'm getting some yarn and I'm going to make it for me. Good. You're allowed to do that, ladies and gentlemen. You're allowed to make something just for yourself. Ah, and let's see. Ekstrom says, glad that you are determined, Hannah. Yes, ma'am. She is. She definitely has determination. And she has trust in the Lord. So that goes a long way. And you combine those two. All right. And Lynn, it's good to see you in the chat. I'm finally getting to your comments. Thank the Lord for you too, my dear. And Denise says, I was in Ireland in 2016. I didn't want to leave. I met some of my family and had a wonderful time. Oh, that is so cool. That is so wonderful. Um, I could tell you stories about my husband driving, because if you go to Ireland and you rent a car, you drive on the left side of the road. It's the opposite of what we do here in the US. And when we went there, I think I've told this story before. Um, there were a lot of Americans in town for the Navy Notre Dame football game. For whatever reason, it was being played in Dublin. So we flew in and we went to get a car, and the only cars left were stick shifts, which we know how to drive a stick shift, fortunately. But not only did you have to know how to drive a stick shift, but you're shifting with your opposite hand. So you're on the opposite side of the car. So instead of like shifting with your right hand, like my car, I have a 6-speed um, car now, shifting with the right hand. We had my husband's driving, shifting with the left hand. And then the trickiest part was just getting out of the parking garage because everything is on the opposite side. And oh my goodness. And I just like to joke with him and say, it was a great ab exercise because, just kind of, tightening up every time you think you're going to hit a stone wall, which there are many of in Ireland. Beautiful, beautiful when you get out into the countryside, but the roads are very narrow in some parts and just gorgeous. But yeah, it's so much fun. Um, I would very much like to go back again. I'd just like to take a bunch of you all with me when we go. Um, yeah. And all right, let me just see if there's anybody that I haven't haven't greeted. I think I've seen everybody. And we have Jenna from Georgia. Well, welcome, Jenna. My daughter is heading back to Georgia right this very minute. Um, oh, and Jean says, "What happened to Gilbert? I just got on." I guess Gilbert was the name of one of the characters in Little House on the Prairie. It was one of the people that is putting together a documentary that my son has been blessed to be a part of the film crew. That's all. And if that does come out and is made available publicly, I will let you all know. All right, but let me read something to you all as a means of encouragement. This is a Christian encouragement that I'm reading. Um, and I know some of you are not Christian, and this is no pressure, not manipulation or anything like that. But I do like to share words of encouragement. It's a crazy world we live in, upside down in many ways from the world that I remember, and even the world I came into many years ago wasn't perfect either. But I want to read just a little something, and it's not even scripture this time, and it's not from a hymnal, and it's not Spurgeon. I'm actually going to read. This is from my notes from a couple weeks ago. Our pastor at my home church, who is Devin Coughlin, um, and if you're interested in even the whole teaching on this, you can email me and I can send you the link, or you can look up. Um, well, anyway, you could just email me. But I just was reading through some of the notes that I took, and these are things that Devin said in the service, and I thought maybe they would be helpful to you all. We're studying in Genesis. That's the first book of the Bible, and this was from Genesis 2, and just establishing creation order and whatnot. And I was just really encouraged by some of the comments, and I just wanted to read those to you. And some of the things that Devin said was that we are created with limits and for growth. Um, and this is kind of in response to the world that we live in, which wants to think that we're limitless and we can just go and go and go and go and do and do and do and do. And that's not how we were created. We were created with limits. And it reminds me of Psalm 16 that says, "The boundaries have fallen in pleasant places, therefore I have hope." The idea that we are limited, but our limitations are good. And they are good for growth. God made us to be dependent creatures, not independent. And this is a beautiful and a good thing. Um, and Devin also encouraged us, instead of being more and doing more, we need to trust more. We don't need more activity, but we need more rest in what Christ has done for us. So I'll read that last part again. It says, instead of being more and doing more, we need to trust more. Not more activity, but more rest in what Christ has already done for us. So I hope that is an encouragement to you in some way. It sure is for me, in so many ways. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to being here next week. Take care. Bye bye. God bless.